Need no stinking bumper music. Marky Bilson, Tri-City Sports Now. We're talking off the air. Caleb Calhoun and myself, Caleb Calhoun, allfortennessee.com, and a big Rick Byrd fan, because this past week I know you wrote twice about Rick Byrd. First, talking about, boy, wouldn't it have been nice if he had been the coach. Rick Barnes leaves. Can we get Rick Byrd out of retirement? Can we please hire him? So he's a Rick Byrd fan, and certainly Buccaneers like a drum over the course of time. But regardless, here we were talking about what would make women's basketball more popular, and you suggested sports gambling. Now that seems to be Memphis, and I know I used to read the Commercial Appeal, and they would have ads for like riverboats on the Mississippi that you could go and gamble and have a casino with and all this. Could you tell us a little bit about what that was like? Did you ever go on any of those?
See, the thing is, it didn't. It influenced the culture around Memphis. It helped Tunica. It helped Arkansas, or gambling in general. Memphis really suffered. And, we know this in the 80s and the 90s, Memphis and Nashville had somewhat of a rivalry, and Nashville really started to take off. And I thought one of the things that really could have saved Memphis and kept it up was to allow for sports gambling and gambling in general, particularly when the FedEx Forum was built and the Tigers and Grizzlies moved there, and the Pyramid, which is a great structure right along the river, was just left empty for 10 years. It's like, come on, it's a Bass Pro Shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for such a unique structure, you thought this would have been a great casino right there, a great hotel and casino, and then have riverboat casinos right there along the Wolf River Harbor that empties into the Mississippi River. And that really could have been a great little hub right there. And now I'm not a person who believes casinos save cities or save towns, but
no, I don't either.
Something like that, something like that could do really well in a place like Memphis. And why would money go into Arkansas and Tunica anyway?
Well, I mean, I've got mixed thoughts. I used to be a sports writer at the Wheeling Intelligencer. I used to derisively, okay, you can see how cynical I was, but they used to love it when I would say, oh yeah, Wheeling, that's McKeesport with a gambling casino if you took the Nailers out. Old mill town in western Pennsylvania that has seen better days, because mills shut down a long time ago. That didn't win me any friends maybe in Wheeling, but there was some truth to it, because, yeah, one time Wheeling had 60,000 people, and even a one airline airport, and a pro football team in the Continental Football League. Look up what that was. That was actually the AAF of its. It's got half the people it once did, but they have gambling casinos. Did that save it? Maybe not. The Bristol Mall, if they don't put in a casino, the Bristol, Virginia Mall, by the way, I should tell you that, Caleb Calhoun of All for Tennessee. Did Tennessee, lose something when we finally did have a lottery? State to have a lottery. I think only Utah is I don't know if Utah still has one or not, but that was the only one that didn't by the time Tennessee got one. So I mean, they're pretty laid back. Like I said, you mentioned comparing LA culture to Knoxville culture, and how a 64-year-old man might prefer Knoxville, where a 24-year-old man would prefer Los Angeles. I don't know. I mean, yes, I know that around here, I don't think it's abhorrent. Let me just put it that way. I don't know if I completely agree with it. I don't know if it's abhorrent. I did see, as a cab driver taking people to casinos, people who shouldn't be going to casinos. Then again, I saw some big winners who gave me 100.
And if it's legal in all the states around you, those people who shouldn't be going are going to go to casinos in other states anyway. Thought on that.
Possibly. The two that I can remember that really didn't were natives of the area. It was a local trip, but nevertheless. Then again, we probably don't take a cab from West Virginia to Pittsburgh. So there you go. Let's talk about what we spoke of that, but I guess we want to talk about Grant Williams now. Thing that he's going to go, I guess by May the 29th, but talk about this. Why is it a good thing that he explores NBA waters?
Okay, for a couple of reasons. So, first off, I think anybody that thought he was just going to not explore it and come back to Tennessee just full stop was a little bit delusional, because you talk about a two-time All-American, two-time SEC Player of the Year. He's earned the right to test the NBA water. So maybe consider returning to Tennessee. And not only that, if he does return to Tennessee, he'll be focusing on stretching the floor with his outside shot. And as great as
there's a realistic chance that he will come back. First round pick, there's a lot of money there. Forget about it. This is college basketball 2019. I mean, in 5 years, people are going to go straight. All the prospects are either going to go straight to the NBA or to the G League. In my opinion, they will. So, what do you think the chances are that he will return?
I think if he's a first round pick, he's going to go. And if he's a first round pick, if he's told he's a potential first round pick, I would tell him to go. Because I'm with you. You got to take the guaranteed money at that point. You just have to. But there's a real logistical possibility that scouts tell him because of his 6'8" when I was writing today, but sometimes you can make a legitimate argument that he's 6'7". And so I think there's a. I'm sorry.
Grant Williams were speaking of. Please continue, Caleb.
Oh, okay. I'll tell them that no one's really even going to give you a look unless you can really demonstrate that you're a major threat shooting from beyond the arc. Reminds me a little bit of Zach Randolph, who played for the Grizzlies for 7 years. It also reminds me, and I'm saying this on a much lesser scale, for some of the older listeners' time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say is that Grant Williams is like those guys, but those guys both were roughly inches. Grant Williams at 6'7" has to be able to do what they can do, but also be a threat from beyond the arc where he can really stretch the floor. And he hasn't really shown that yet.
You're bringing back memories of me when I covered the New York Mets, Caleb Calhoun of AllForTennessee.com, because one day after a game, we all went into the manager's office. It was Jerry Manuel was the manager, and for some reason, he had Willis Reed on his mind and was talking all about him. The hearing training, a loose atmosphere, all that sort of stuff. Somebody had brought his name up, and there was a conversation about Willis Reed, and that was not what I was expecting to hear when I went into the manager's office. I was not expecting to hear him talk about basketball after a baseball game, let me tell you that. That's Grant Williams. Jordan, I guess right now what I'm looking at is, okay, well, for Tennessee fans, Rick Barnes comes back. We can discuss if we're really, but, if we are that, see everything through a chance right now that both Williams and Bone could come back, and if that happens, then yeah, I could see the Vols still being something of a monster team for 2019-2020 leave. Then 20 games instead of 30, and it's a nice backcourt, and hopefully some post players will mature. I think, but is there room enough for optimism that you think Williams and Bone could come back?
Well, I think Bone is fully declaring, so I actually don't.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty confirmed he's not coming back.
Yeah.
And so I don't think there's optimism for Bone. I think there is optimism. There's cautious 50-50 optimism for Williams. And at this point, if Williams comes back, you're talking like with a 5-star guard coming in. I mean, the only thing Rick Barnes needs to do is he probably needs to is not a true point guard. And Levante Turner just makes I don't know if Levante Turner, so he's too quick to shoot from the outside. So I think Barnes will have to go the transfer route no matter what, to find a point guard to help run this offense. But I do think if Grant Williams comes back, it's not too hard to find a decent manager of the offense in the transfer portal across the country.
One last thing to ask you, Elvina Westbrook, you wrote how she greased the skids for Holly Warlick. Now she's in the transfer portal. Is this Judas, or is this a woman who knows how to cover her bases?
Westbrook transferring, and obviously Anastasia Hayes was kicked off, and so it was